if she's getting the best of you, or if we're getting the best of you, your wife's in trouble too.
Oh yeah.
How did you bag her?
Like the caveman thing. I just got a club with some knots on it, grabbed her by the hair, I dragged her over.
I'm in a band.
He said I got stopped at the airport.
So I'm a registered sex offender, and since you already have a child, I felt obligated to come.
Oh my God.
That's fantastic, Jack.
Tell you, I'm using all my good shit.
All right, hey, welcome to Men in Red Tights. This is episode 3, I think. We're doing episodes 5 and 6, so I think we're on episode 3, right?
Correct.
All right.
Yes.
We're going to play fast and loose again. So one of these two
Again?
episodes. One is World on Fire, one is Condemned. This is for Patreon-only subscribers. So anyone that is listening to this that is not a Patreon subscriber, you are doing something wrong. How do you like that?
Isn't that the Hunger Games, World on Fire, or something like that?
No. Girl on Fire?
I was going to say,
Girl on Fire, yeah.
What are you talking about?
I just wanted making sure we're, talking about the right show here.
I guarantee we're not.
We never do.
That's right.
Or we make up our own shows.
Yes. Well, that seems to happen more than anything.
We could have our own Netflix series. It would be like the Seinfeld version of Marvel.
Yeah, I don't know about
just
the
about
Seinfeld.
nothing.
Maybe the special ed version of Marvel.
Special ed. You know what? I am going to resist the temptation to be really horrible right now.
I'm glad.
Especially if people are subscribing to this. We do owe it to them.
To be horrible?
Well, to not be horrible, I would think. I don't know. I mean, you can get horrible anywhere.
Yeah, right. You want better than horrible.
Right. You want special ed.
Well, let's see. This episode we've been mean to special ed people. Last time we were racist. What else do we got in the bag? How many more of these do we have to do?
I don't know. Stay tuned for more.
Okay, so this is World on Fire. The next one is called Condemned. I don't know. How do you guys want to do this? Do you want to talk? Well, do you guys want to talk about because last time we started out, it was awkward. We kind of started out talking about the episode, and then it became talking about anything but.
Well, let's go top to bottom and see where it goes from there.
Okay.
Well, I mean, this episode is great to start at the top because we kind of ended off talking about the Russians and that great scene of Fisk killing the brother.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And this scene really, I mean, this opening really kind of, I mean, it's telling to what Fisk is thinking. I mean, he's putting it out there like the brother's gone, nobody knows where he's at.
Right.
And he puts it out there that the Daredevil killed him because he wants everyone hunting this guy down.
Well, this is actually where the seeds are planted, because when we get into the next episode especially, Jack, you all right over there?
Yeah.
All right.
Why?
You're making all sorts of noise.
Sorry, that was just my
Changing his
microphone.
pants in the middle of the show.
Right. Oh, these pants! I got to get these off.
Chafing.
So, no, going forward, we're going to see how much Kingpin is using Daredevil as the scapegoat. He's really setting him up, and this is where we're first getting that. This was really cool. Plus, the name of the episode was cool when you found out what that was supposed to be.
Right.
Now, is this the one that ends with everything on fire also? So it's got a double meaning, right?
Right. This is where all the explosions happen.
Yes.
And
they
of
think
course,
that the Daredevil did it because the cops that are on the payroll are all reporting that they're seeing him and he's beating up cops. And I think one of the helicopters gets a picture of that scene where he fights the cops at the end that are bad.
Right. Yeah, they're watching it on the monitor.
That was the security camera footage.
Was it a security camera? I couldn't remember.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a security camera, and they're putting it out that he's like this masked vigilante, and he's gone bad. Look, what we show to the cops, and eventually, of course, they're reporting that he's got one of them held hostage.
Right.
And so it's gone really bad. All through, so now the cops are after him, the media's after him. It's just, one kind of bad episode for him. And I did like when they showed, when Claire was asking him, what do you see?
Yeah.
And then they
That's what I was talking
like,
about.
Yes.
And he said it's like an impressionist painting.
Yeah, and they actually did a visual of it where everything is kind of like, it's like a flaming heat signature, and he sees that, which is pretty amazing considering that usually you get this impression that people that can't see, really it's more sonar, but he gets really everything that has like a heat signature and a shape, and so it's really much more almost like an infrared sight.
Right. Yeah, it's really cool. Well, it reminds me, they kind of did that in the movie. Remember when he first gets his powers and you kind of see everything? But in that, it was a little bit more defined. Like it was blue and it kind of phased in and out. But in this, it's like everything's like constantly in motion. It almost looks like fire. I thought this was a really, really cool effect.
And the best part about it is this is the only time they've done it, so they don't throw it in your face all the time.
Right.
So that, like, you just have to imagine it, and when you're using your mind to fill in those kind of things, that really, to me, what makes it so cool.
Yeah.
Gordy on, was it Gordon? The guy on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., they never went towards that. He's got no eyes, and
right. We never got to see what he sees or understand that the way we do here.
Right. To me, that's a big difference.
I did like when she said to him, "Oh, so you have X-ray fingers now?" I thought that was pretty good.
Oh yeah, I did like that part.
Oh, what I could do with X-ray fingers.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Well, I'd see the inside of my nose a lot, I think.
Yeah, I was going.
That's not so impressive.
All right, so.
I almost made a really bad joke. I'm going to keep that one to myself.
There you go.
Oh, no, it's the Patreon account. Hey, I think I've got a hemorrhoid.
Well, at least you can see
that on here.
At least you can see through your fingers. Oh boy.
Oh man. Wow, I dug so deep I almost saw my brain on that one. So, yeah. Oh, the other thing that happened here, he kissed Claire.
Oh yes.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Little
snoochies there.
And it's been setting up this on and off. Like, they shouldn't get involved. They should get involved. Kind of tense thing.
Well, I kept thinking this was going to happen, but then I'm like, they might not go that route, especially since we know Claire is in the other Netflix shows. She's going to be that connective tissue. So her having a relationship with Matt might be a little bit weird.
Well, it might I think they might leave it in this kind of romantic undertone that they've established that there's a sexual undertone to it, but it can never go too far because he's always putting himself in danger. He's going to be putting her in danger.
Sure.
And she's just going to have to accept that she's going to have her own life at some point, and that will play into the other shows as they get her involved with other projects.
Yeah. Well, I did like when they kissed. I thought that one thing that I was afraid of in the beginning of the series, when I saw that connection between them, I thought they're not going to do one of these, Sam and Diane things where the whole time you're thinking they're never connecting and they want to. Here it was like it's out of the way, and they kind of did the Spider-Man thing with it where it's kind of moved on already.
Right.
But man, how could he resist? Even a blind guy can see that Rosario Dawson's when you want to kiss.
Yeah. Well, and Foggy's always said he always seems to know which of the ones are hot.
Yep.
Well, that's because they're all on fire when he looks at them. Boo.
He doesn't have heat vision. I mean, it's.
It kind of looks like it, though.
Yeah, heat vision.
Heat vision.
I like it.
X-ray fingers.
So then he says, that guy at the airport had him, too. He says that he's going after Fisk, and she tells him about Vladimir. Now, this is also the last thing we saw was Fisk crushing Anatoly's head in the car.
Right.
Yeah.
So, she's telling him about Vladimir, she's telling him what's going on. He doesn't know about Anatoly. The next scene we see is Wesley at Vladimir's and acting like nothing has happened. And then they bring in the headless body. Oh my gosh.
That was awesome.
Oh, gross! And then they pull the black mask out of his pocket, and it's like, oh man, this is not good for Matt. I mean, in any way, yeah, he's setting him up, but this is more than just your average setup. You decapitated a crazy Russian guy's brother, and you're blaming him. I mean, it's like, oh, it's brutal. You know that this is going to be a brutal episode when that scene happened.
Yeah, one of the things that set up kind of confused me. If they were all going after, I guess the cabal, whatever you want to call it, was going after the Russians, I guess this kind of set up something mostly to keep them busy, but I guess they were hoping that maybe they could do something to Matt at the same time. But
I don't know. The cabal wasn't going after the Russians. It was just Fisk who basically said that Fisk more upset with how the Russians were encroaching on his personal time.
Right.
That he had no need for them anymore. Because both the Yakuza guy and Gao were upset with this whole thing.
Gao. We got the name right. I had to write it down this time so I didn't make that mistake again.
What did you call her? Gucci or Gaucho
or something?
Mugu Gai Pan or something. Yeah. It was terrible.
But Owsley was here again, so, we're
if the Yakuza ever listens to the show, you're a goner.
Oh, man. So, now wait a minute. Oh, never mind. I just answered my own question. I'm not going to ask it. So stupid.
Actually, there'll be a special Patreon where we answer our own questions.
Oh, man.
And we pay you to listen to that show.
Oh.
That's right.
You know what? No, why are there no takers on that?
There might be a few after this episode.
Oh, gosh. How embarrassing. I almost said something just completely stupid. So we see him spraying off the brains. That was fun. With them sitting there. It's like, you couldn't do this before Madame Gao is sitting there?
I like the other guy, I forget his name, but he's standing there freaking out about all this stuff. Like, there's something he can do, and he's constantly complaining. Like, oh my God, this is never going to work. What are we supposed to do? And Fisk,
we'll never make it.
He'll never make it. And Fisk looks at him and says, well, are you in or are you out? This from a guy that just crushed a guy's head with a car door.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, no, I'd like to keep my head, thank you.
Yeah, right.
He was still at it, but he's completely in. I thought that was great.
So what else happened? Are we done with this episode? No, I'm kidding. Where are we? After that scene,
did they go back to the date?
I know what. This is a great scene. This was a great scene. Remember when the guy is sitting in the car and the two Russian guys go into the place and the camera tilts around and you see Daredevil standing there. And the guy's just listening to his headphones. I thought the guy saw him, but he never did. Then the camera skips back. He's not there. Then when it skips back again, there he is. And then all hell breaks loose. That was a fantastic scene.
When the guy was in the blind Oriental was in the back.
Oriental, what are you, my dad?
I don't know. I don't have the PC dictionary anymore. I need to buy one.
Isn't Oriental? It's my dad. Hey, let's go for Oriental food. What, Dad?
I don't know. Why is that bad? Did somebody have a bad experience on the Oriental Express? I don't know.
I don't understand that one either because like when you say Asian, my friend Raj would always go like, well, dude, I'm Asian. He's from India. It's like, right. I'm Asian. What does Asian mean? I think Oriental makes more sense.
Nobody knows. So, I don't know. Anyway, I thought when he started singing that little song that was some sort of code so that he could find him. But it was just one of these random things that Daredevil picked up on, to their location.
Right.
And
like that's what he used for his sonar or something?
Yeah, because you see him at some point, he's standing up on the edge of the building. And he just tilts his head and he's listening and you hear like a million sounds all at once. And he uses that Gestalt, filter and he's zoning in until you hear that one voice. And, he knows exactly where to go. At this point, he knows who the the taxi vendor was and all that, so he could go right to the scene.
Right.
Now, did they go to the date at this point, or?
Let's see. Well, we had the slumlords who were talking about Tully. Matt hears the Russian name check, Wilson Fisk.
Yes.
The cop shoots the guy.
Oh, right.
Foggy knows Tully's lawyer.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, the lawyer.
Oh, that was a great interchange.
I like that. I wish I wrote
His
down
girl. What's her name?
Vanessa.
Yes.
Oh no, that's Fisk's.
Oh no, yeah,
right,
you're right.
right.
What's
I don't know the lawyer's name, but Marcy,
Maggie, something like that.
No, it's Marcy. Yeah, I do have it written down here. But I wish I had. She kept calling him Foggy Bear. But what was the? I wish I knew what Karen called her because it was really funny.
Something about a pencil skirt.
Man-eater or something.
Man-eater, yeah.
Yeah. I can't believe Foggy dated her.
Why?
Well, you get the idea that he was a much bigger player in college. He's the typical frat guy. I think if he hadn't met Matt, he totally would have been into that law firm. I think Matt's the kind of guy that got his conscience rolling, and he's that sidekick in for the ride. But without Matt, he would totally be one of the guys in the law firm.
Yeah, he would have gone into that, sure.
Processing paperwork and doing, maybe not the man-eating stuff, but, definitely I think he would have been one of your, kind of your mid-level kind of guys. But the interchange Foggy just crushes her. At first he thinks she's just going to beat him down like just senseless.
Right.
And Foggy just rips her a new one.
Yeah. I was really surprised when he stepped up on that.
Yeah.
Because I thought she had hand that whole time. And he looked like a, Foggy Bear. But man, he took her down. That was good. Yeah,
I think his character is really going to be great. Not just this season, but even into the next, just because they're not going to make him that, kind of that stupid kind of sidekick where he's going to always have some value.
Right. I think Jack fell in a hole.
I was just about to say, what just happened?
So,
hello,
we should explain that Jack is on a phone. So those of you that are listening, being like, what's up with their sound? Jack's on a phone.
I didn't even know that.
He's getting kind of a scratchy sound every once in a while. That's what that is. So we'll do our best to kind of eliminate that, but it's still going to be there.
Well, actually, that's just because I'm scratching.
Where do you have the phone?
You don't want to know.
Yeah.
If you subscribe to Patreon, if you subscribe to the podcast, I will let you know.
Yeah. And your X-ray fingers have something up on YouTube right now. Hold on, I'm going to throw up a lot right now from that.
You love it.
I'm just going to throw up a little in the back of my entire room.
So let's see. Fisk and Vanessa have another date. Oh, wait a minute. I didn't like this part. Foggy and Karen go to Miss Cartagena's and they're going to fix it.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
That was stupid. Did you guys think that was stupid?
It was really stupid. However, it shows the good side to Foggy, but it also put them there. It put them there at the blast scene.
Right. I mean, it was just a
really
utility scene. I didn't need them. I mean, it was totally Spicoli. My dad has an ultimate set of tools. I'll totally fix this house. It just didn't jive for me. But I was like, there are other ways, like when they got there, other than we'll drywall for you, that she could have convinced them to stay and had their date.
Right.
That to me just seemed a little strange-ish.
And it was pretty ingenious that the blast had nothing to do with that building, but completely took that building out.
So it's because it's Hell's Kitchen. I mean, everything in Hell's Kitchen, when those blasts went off, it's going to rock Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you remember?
But no,
that's very much like in the wasn't that called World on Fire? The issue of Daredevil that Frank Miller wrote, where they blew up Hell's Kitchen. Do you remember that, Alil?
Yeah, I remember. I'm trying to remember.
Now, in that one, they did it with, they had that crazy military guy, the guy that had the tattooed face with the American flag on it, and he like firebombed Hell's Kitchen.
Right.
But this reminded me very much of that, like tearing it down, just blowing it up. And what an awesome scene. Let's talk about the awesome scene. Kingpin is on the date with Vanessa. They're standing there looking out the window. She and him, they've had this little dance with him with her with the gun in the purse. And like she's like, hey, I'm still here. And, you know, she knows he's a bad guy. But then they're standing at the window and you start seeing everything blow up. She doesn't even react.
No, she does. She
does. She does.
She loves it. What?
She's starting to love the power that this guy exudes. It's a very sensual attraction kind of thing where these mafia type guys have this kind of power, and she is going to be his girlfriend. There's a lot of power in that.
Yeah.
Because she knows if she's got the power over him, she's got the power over everything.
Right.
Oh man,
it's the power of love. Go buy your.
There's
Huey,
something else. There's
Lewis
something else there that's
record.
powerful.
Yeah, right. Well, an episode should never go by that there isn't a Huey Lewis reference. So well done, Jack.
Well, thank you. Well, since you referenced Spicoli, and anybody under the age of 30 probably doesn't know who that is.
No, they've got to know what Spicoli is.
Well, I think most people under the age of 30 probably don't.
Really?
Yeah, that movie is close, even with my generation not caring as much like your generation.
You know that was the most replaced movie at the video stores for one scene alone because it kept wearing out in one spot. Because when you pause a videotape, it stretches the tape and eventually it breaks. And that movie was always breaking because of one scene.
Yes, of course.
I like
the Freudian slip when you said because of one plot.
Yeah.
That definitely had some deeper meaning. But I love the interplay when he absolutely knows she has a weapon in the purse.
Yes.
And just playing her and looks him in the face and said, I am having dinner with one of the most dangerous men in the city. Yes, I have a weapon. It's a 22. And that's not even... a 22 is really not even a weapon. My brother got shot with a 22 through his hand, and it was a little messy, but he was fine. It's not a.
Well, I mean, but that's the purse gun. It's enough that if you shoot somebody with it, it might slow him down a little bit. Little does she know, he's the freaking Kingpin. You shoot him with that, he's just going to keep coming at you.
Right.
I mean, in the comics, he's not a wuss, man. Although
no,
I loved in the movie how the first thing Daredevil does is take him out at the knees. It's like, well, yeah, so that guy's gonna hurt in the knees.
Man, I wonder when they're gonna do that. That's gonna be awesome.
Do you think they'll have a showdown in this? Oh, Lil, don't say anything. You've watched.
I know. I've been very quiet because you guys have been asking a lot of questions.
Oh, you're the worst, Lil.
They can't dispatch the big bad this quick, though, can they?
Oh, no, that doesn't mean... Even if they have a fight and a showdown, this is Kingpin. Game's not over for Kingpin.
Right. No matter what happens to the Kingpin,
he is Lex Luthor to Daredevil. So he's the Joker. He's the big bad for Daredevil.
So he'll always be back.
Oh, he'll always be back. He's Dr. Doom,
and he's a big bad for a lot of other Marvel characters.
Yes, he is. Which
I want to see. I want to see this character in Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because to me, a lot of my favorite storylines from the Spider-Man comics, and even in the Ultimate Spider-Man comic universe, is with Daredevil. But not with Daredevil, but with Fisk, and then also Daredevil, of course, shows up at some points. But I think Fisk is a different dynamic of a villain that Spider-Man has to take on, and the same with Daredevil. I mean, it's not all fisticuffs.
Fisticuffs?
Did you just say fisticuffs?
I did say fisticuffs.
How old are you? You make fun of us. How old are you? Well, the Desperados were there, and they were having fisticuffs.
I am 35. I won't be 36 for another 10 days.
1935,
look how he's throwing that out there. Getting that birthday mention.
I expect presents from
Wait a minute,
all our
not 10 days.
listeners.
Isn't your birthday like the 10th?
Yeah, it's okay. 2 weeks. I'm sorry, you're right. 2 weeks from today.
You know what? 10 days. Let's not push it a little. Do you start celebrating? Are you one of those that starts celebrating early?
Yeah, June 1st. I start celebrating my birthday. My birthday is the whole month of June.
So Martha's birthday is June 3rd.
She doesn't count.
And her birthday would start for years, it would start about 2 weeks before her birthday. We'd start going out to dinner with people. There'd be gifts. There'd be all this crap. And my birthday is July 1st. And it would literally go until the last day of June would be her birthday every year. And then by noon on July 1st, she'd say, "Oh, I'm so over hearing about your birthday."
Well, that's right, though. I would be the same.
That's how it happens. Yeah. I'd be like,
my wife's birthday is on the 1st, and
what?
Of June.
Oh, I was gonna say of July. Like, Jack, did you marry her because you really wanted to marry me?
Did you marry Rob?
I'm in drag down there right now. He doesn't see me. Hold on a second. Let me. Jack.
Honey, how'd you get
like
on the
those
phone?
terrible Benny Hill shows where he's dressed in drag.
I'm running around in the lingerie. Jack's whacking me on the head. Tick, 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 tick. No, actually, Jack's the little guy. I'd be hitting him.
This is one of the like the bad flashbacks on Peter Griffin on Family Guy when he goes, "Yeah, it's as bad as my other family," and he goes in and he's dressed as the mom.
How great was Benny Hill? How great was Benny Hill?
Didn't we talk about Benny Hill on an episode already?
You know what? Can you ever talk enough about Benny Hill?
I'm just shocked that it's come up twice.
I'm not. A little. You haven't known Jack as long as I have. I think Jack and I annually talk about Benny Hill.
We talk about it even when we're not on the phone together. We just think we have like a mental. I have a mental picture of Rob, and
while he's doing,
I just say to myself Benny Hill, and I get a reaction. It's awesome.
And the sad thing is, Jack and I guarantee we both have the Yakety Sax, or what was the song in that one? It wasn't Yakety Sax.
Yakety Sax.
We both have that in our collections.
My grandmother in Nashville, anytime we would go and visit the family, would absolutely insist that I had to play Yakety Sax. So I had to learn it on the trumpet. Yes.
You don't have it. You don't have the trumpet handy, do you?
I don't actually.
What a fail! I think that you need to play that on one of these episodes, just a little bit.
I would be glad to.
Just a little something for Grandma.
For Grams.
A little something. They're like, "What's Benny Hill?" I'm too young.
I know what Benny Hill is. I've talked about it twice on the show.
I think you know what's sad. I think we talked about it last week at the Blue Box too.
Yeah,
did we?
I think we did.
We might have. I'm telling you, like all these shows just merged together. I don't know what I'm saying from one show to the next.
Don't forget he was the wasn't he the Toy Master on Chitty Chitty Bang Bang?
Yes,
too?
he was. Yes, he was Toy Master. Yes, he was great.
He was awesome.
In real life, let's do the Benny Hill. This is your life. In real life, he was a mailman. And he only made his show like twice a year. They would film all these episodes like twice a year. And then the rest of the year, he was a mailman.
That's awesome.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
What? That makes no sense. Are you kidding me?
No, well, they're English. English people are, nuts.
Well, like the Beatles. They were all like real normal guys that were just doing gigs. And...
Oh, the UK loves us. My last name is Southgate. They know I'm their peeps. I am half English, half Scottish, so I get drunk trying to take over myself and get angry at myself all the time.
That's right. Well, my peeps, I've got the Wagoners, Holtz, and Shaw on my mom's side, so I definitely have some roots in there.
I don't know. You just said a bunch of words.
Yeah, I don't know what that means. What are those? Are those what nationality? Oh, Lil, you're just a mixed bag. But Jack,
no, I
thought your dad was like Argentine or something, right?
Well, he was. He was from Argentina, but his parents were from Russia and Poland, and then my mom's side is from.
So he's not really Argentine. He just worked there.
No, he was born and raised there, and.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, he was.
The more you know about Jack.
I know. He graduated medical school in Cordoba in Argentina. And...
I'm sorry, did you just cough?
Cordoba. Cordoba. Where they do the fake leather for cars?
Yes.
Cordoba. And Cordovan leather, little joke. Anyway, but yeah, he did his residency at the VA in New York City and his internship in Little Rock, Arkansas, where my mom was having knee surgery, and that's how they met.
Oh, what a romantic story over knee surgery.
I know. Da 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 da.
Let's have a boy and name him Jack.
How about Brian Piccolo? Do we have any Brian Piccolo fans?
Why do we need Brian Piccolo? Why is that coming up?
I don't know. Sad songs. I was
there's a little sports for you. The Brian Piccolo
references.
Story.
Yeah.
Gail Sayers.
Every Chicagoan, even if you're not old enough, I think doesn't every Chicagoan know the Brian Piccolo story?
It was required watching when we were younger.
It was. Remember when they used to have required reading? No, it's just required watching.
Right. On
required
YouTube.
Downloads.
I wish this was required downloads, and the Patreon subscribers, or people, it was required that they Patreon subscribe to us. That would be great.
There you go.
Yeah.
See, that's where you should do some advertising.
To the choir, though.
We've talked for the last 15 minutes not about the episode.
Oh, wait, are we talking about Daredevil again?
Yes.
So Benny Hill shows up.
He slaps Kingpin on the head.
Okay, you know what? You're right. Let's finish this one out. He did call him a sexual Rain Man. I thought that was funny. Oh, I know one. When they blew up the building, Madame Gaussen in a kamikaze.
Oh, that was awesome.
Because I forgot. I was thinking that they had charges set up, but no, the guy was a kamikaze. How crazy is that?
Right?
That was the guy that's been sitting in the taxi like the entire time. And just finally walks in with his thumb in the air and hits the suicide switch and boom. It's done.
Wow, that was something else, man.
That was.
Wow. And then that guy, I can't think who it is, gave up that Fisk to Vlad was working for Fisk.
Right.
Did I get that right? I think I said it weird, but yeah, but
no, not Vlad was
the Daredevil.
Oh, right.
So he tells. I mean, I got something wrong here.
No, that guy he said it was the guy that was in the chop shop, right? And
right. It was
Vlad,
the guy that gave up Fisk to Vlad was actually working for Fisk. That's what it was.
Right. And he said, it wasn't Daredevil. This was at the chop shop. That SUV that had the blood in it was at Fisk's.
Yeah.
Was Fisk's. So then, for some reason, it signaled...
Now, how is that guy not terrified? I mean, he's telling this stuff. Everyone that mentions Fisk's name gets blasted.
Right.
But this guy's just like, yeah, man, what do I care?
And totally sets up an all-out war.
Yeah. Oh.
And so that gets Vladimir to get all his men out, which is really what really put everybody in one place so that he could blow them up.
Right. And this was actually the scene we talked about at the beginning when Daredevil jumps Vlad when they're trying to get out of there, and he starts beating on him. He's like, this one's for Claire. And right then the cops catch him. That's the cliffhanger.
Yep.
That was crazy. And of course, it ends and you're like, of course, he's going to get out of this. But I did not see him getting out of it the way this happened. Did you guys?
I thought it was going to be something back at the precinct and he was going to, or en route.
Well, yeah, but it couldn't be because as soon as that's happening, they're going to tear that mask off him. They're not going to let him get in the car with the mask on.
Right.
If they take that mask off, there's a good chance somebody's going to know he's Matt Murdock because he's a lawyer.
Right.
Or that person who takes the mask off is going to die right there.
Right.
Because they're not going to go with the reveal yet. I mean, that's going to happen down the road, I'm sure, because that's a huge storyline for Daredevil.
Oh yeah, right. It has to, but not yet. Not
yet. Yeah.
Not 5 episodes into this.
Well, at least Matt could represent himself then.
All right, Jack.
Or Foggy, at least.
All right.
On that note.
So, okay, we're into the next episode. The cops got Daredevil standing right over Vlad's body. The cops, very obviously, very quickly, we figure out, work for Fisk. I mean, is there anybody not on this guy's payroll?
Nope.
Is that guy...
The one young guy that...
the cop that Foggy gives the cigars to his mom, he doesn't work for Fisk.
Right, no. He doesn't, so far.
And the young guy that got supposedly kidnapped by Matt was newbie on the force and hadn't even got approached yet.
Right, because then they say that, like, who's in there with him? And
right.
They kind of spelled it out that he hasn't been corrupt yet.
And that plays a little part in here coming up too.
Yeah.
Because it does not bode well for him.
No. Sad.
So
the
cops kill that Russian. I did like when they showed Ben Urich and he had the king card with the question mark in the middle.
Yep.
Because they haven't name-checked Kingpin. They've called him Fisk the whole time.
I wonder if it's Ben that will, he'll start doing the articles, which is, I think it's the one thing that keeps him alive, because, once they kill him, that it puts way too much on particular people. But I wonder if there'll be that spread on the front page of the paper and talks about the Kingpin.
Huh.
I think it'll be Ben.
Yeah. Well, I know there's a lot of story with Ben coming up. I don't know what it is. Once again, I've tried to stay pretty spoiler-free, which is difficult at this point, but I just keep avoiding it. I know that Ben is important in the comics, but and he has a lot to do with this, but I don't know. I don't know what's going on, what they're going to do with Ben, but he is definitely a fly in the ointment that Kingpin has not taken seriously yet.
Right.
He will. I'm sure. So, okay, bad cops, they rough up the Russian, looking for Vladimir, they kill him. I thought Matt had a good line when he said he doesn't like to go to the movies, but he does like records. That was pretty funny. Although, you know what's funny about that? Jack and I in college got to play with Diane Shore, who's blind. And I have never forgotten this. I got to sit and have this long conversation with her. And one of the things she said was how much she loved movies. And we were like, really? And she said, and it was very specific. She's like, not all movies. She said, but movies like, like Back to the Future, things like that have this incredible sound. She said, for somebody that can't see, it just immerses you in this other world. Mm. So when he said that, I thought, he's not watching the right stuff. He's watching like Sandra Bullock movies. He's got to go watch something cool. He's got to watch Daredevil. Or, I guess, listen to it. Would he see it as on fire? It's a screen, so he wouldn't see what's on the screen, right?
I don't think he would. I think it has to have some sort of shape.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like when a cat looks at it, they see something flicker, but they don't really see what's on there.
Right.
At least that's what I assume. Oh, Lil, you're half cat. What do you see?
Half cat?
I think you completely caught him off guard.
I know. He's watching the Hawks right now.
No. Yes. No. I don't think he can see the flickers.
Yeah. No. Well, he might see flicker. He might see that there's something there, but maybe heat signature or whatever.
There's no.
Yeah, but there's a heat signature to it.
Not on the projection screen.
Yeah, but I'm saying he wouldn't see the image, but he'd see that there's something going on.
I'm going to email Daredevil and see what he says about that.
Dear Stan Lee, first off, you're so cool. Second, what does Daredevil see when he looks at a TV? Third, can we talk about Hulk's junk? Signed,
is it
Jack
daredevil@gmail.com?
Yes.
What? I'm trying to figure out Daredevil's email address.
Yeah, right.
It would be daredevil.manwithoutfear@gmail.com.
Yes. So, okay. Vladimir tells Daredevil all about Fisk and Madam, what's her name? Gao. Oops. Vladimir plays Possum. Oh, yeah, when he played Possum and attacked Daredevil, that was pretty tough.
Yeah.
And that's when they crashed through the floor. What? That was nuts. Would they fall like 4 stories?
I was actually at that point I was kind of just not happy with his character, because it's like you realize
who's Vlad's or Daredevil?
Yeah, Vlad's, because you realize that at this point I think you realize that it wasn't Daredevil that did any of this.
Right,
it was all Fisk.
Yeah, I thought, why is he attacking him?
Why attack him? Yeah, why?
But you know what? It might be because if he doesn't attack him and he's going to get justice served against him, it's better off to kill Daredevil, get him out of the way, and then move on to Fisk.
Right.
Yeah, but he's at a point right now where he's probably not going to survive this, so why not do something?
Yeah, I know.
Something redeeming.
This was something a little strange to me, but once again...
Matt actually had to convince him of that. He wasn't at that place yet. Matt spent almost the entire episode...
It was the entire episode, you're right. I mean,
they were trapped in there the whole time.
Yeah, and...
Which made it an interesting episode, I think. I think that was an interesting choice.
It was. It just kind of made you wonder, like, when he was saving his life and he had to call Claire, and this is, you want me to help you fix the guy that tried to kill me. And it's like, what's your end game with this? But he had to get Vlad on his side,
right,
to do something right now, because he's the only help that Daredevil really has right now against Fisk.
Right.
He doesn't have the cops. He doesn't have like an infrastructure. He doesn't have, at least Vlad has, support and contacts. And it did play it out in the end where he used that to say, look, it's got to be us against him. And so, he finally figures it out. And the only way out, when the cops are coming in, they've got that emergency services unit. The ESU comes in, which are really just all of Fisk's men.
Right.
They come barreling in. The first thing they get on the radio and say, yeah, the rookie cop, he's dead. And the rookie cop, his eyes go really big just before they stick a knife in his throat.
Man.
And
it's those same cops, those same two guys.
No.
They were outside.
They were outside. Yeah. When it starts to one of the media things, they shoot dead one of the guys,
right?
One of those cops outside, and say, "Oh, look what the masked man did."
Okay, I got a question. That and they didn't show it in here, but this might be spoilerish. I just want to know the guy that shot from the roof. Now, granted, he missed his mark. But the setup of him setting up the scope and everything, I thought he was going to turn out to be somebody. Is he anybody, Lil, or is he just, agent whatever, and he's the one that shot at Ben Urich?
He doesn't come back.
Okay. Because, I didn't know if it was going to turn out that he was a character that is some kind of sniper or something like that, but he is not.
Well, they did show...
Because it seemed to take a long time with him, like a big setup with that guy, and I thought, I wonder, but then he missed, and I thought, well, that's weird.
Yeah, no, he doesn't come back.
All right.
Do you really think that Urich was the intended target? Because they made quite a big deal that Matt is now a cop killer. Or at least the character Daredevil.
I don't know, because the fact that he didn't... See, they made it look like it was Urich because they were following him with the scope.
I think that was just the ploy. It was just to get us to think that they were going to take him down. I think it was the cop the whole time.
Yeah, I never thought about it, but I think you're right, Jack.
Yeah.
And here's the other thing. They didn't take the second shot and kill Urich when he was bent over the body.
Right. And so they could have.
He easily could have.
They led us to believe that
because they did start shooting cops then.
Fisk had said earlier, not long before that Urich was something they were going to have to deal with.
Yeah.
But usually in the MCU and even in other stories, the media is generally just kind of off limits, because when you start killing the media gets really pissed off and they start investigating and putting out information. And if you're in the underworld, information is not your friend.
What if you accidentally shoot at Perez Hilton? Boy, think of all the attacks.
Fashion police everywhere would be mortified.
What a terrible joke.
And that's for Patreon-only subscribers.
And we are
money
no way advocating that.
Spent. All right, so Vlad gets a gun on Daredevil. Owlsley controls the money. Daredevil gets away.
Yep.
Yes.
And that's it. Now, did Vlad die at the end? I don't remember.
Yes.
We just assume he did. He had an automatic weapon that they got.
Right. They're in that alleyway.
He bought him some time to get away.
Yes. So we have to assume he died.
Right. I mean, he's in bad shape. The bullet's still in him. He's still bleeding out.
Yeah.
The wound's been cauterized, but all this stuff's going on, and the only thing he can do is hold off a few of the police until they get him. So you just hear the shots in the background, and Matt is just slowly walking down the sewer.
That was fantastic. It ended, and it was one of those like, oh man, the next episode's going to be just brutal. Oh, I can't wait. I literally have not watched past this episode. I am so excited to get there. I'm like, hey, it gets better.
I'm like, the next episode, it's really just, Matt doing the dishes.
And everything looks like it's on fire,
so
he keeps scrubbing. Stupid fire, I can't get it off of here.
And Claire's like throwing him cups, and he just catches them. And you go, wow.
Oh, wow. It's like that scene in the Chipmunks movie. It's so cool.
Did you just go Chipmunks?
I did.
What is going on in this episode? Spicoli,
Chipmunks, Benny Hill.
The Chipmunks? What's next?
Oh, yeah.
Alil, what do you got?
I don't know.
I remember back in the old days where it was Episode 9 of
What was? What did you say earlier? Not. We said Desperados, but what did you say? Snap and cuff or something weird.
Fisticuffs.
Fisticuffs.
Well, in the next episode, the Daredevil is going to have fisticuffs with a rogue.
As he makes play with the flappers.
Love the flappers.
Don't the guys on your other show on League of Geeks make fun of you? Always say you're the old man.
No.
Yeah, you told me that back when you started podcasting. When I called you an old man in an episode, you're like, they always say that about me. I know why now.
They haven't in a while though. I mean,
well, they will now.
Probably. Well, no, they don't subscribe. So.
Oh, he's so lucky. Maybe I'll just cut that clip and send it to them.
They're like, I listened to a little enough. I'm not paying for it.
Yeah, really.
Have they adopted my G of Leaks with a G?
Or have you started your Star Wars podcast with a Z? Star Wars boy
podcast.
Might have to do that. Star Wars with a Z.
Yeah, because Lando is hip hop.
That's right.
All right, are we done? Have we finished this one out?
I think we have. I mean, this was a really good kind of center. Like, if you look at Daredevil as a movie, this is a great like
kind of middle act leading up to the
action.
Next that we're gonna get to.
Right.
Yeah.
There's some alert, lots of uh-ohs.
Yeah, we're not even close to done with this one.
No.
So do you think if this really kind of keeps momentum and gets big, they'll go back to do a real Elektra assassin?
Yeah.
You know, the rumor is that they're looking for an Elektra for season 2.
Yeah, they basically already aligned that season 2 she will be in it.
Oh, fantastic.
So spoiler alert.
I get that story right.
I have one of the early Hulks, and I still have all 8 issues of the epic Elektra Assassin.
Yeah.
Frank Miller.
Yeah, those are
awesome
fantastic.
Series. The art is just spectacular.
It's got to be good, though. They've got to get the right person because that's a character that, once again, has cinematic appeal. Just like Daredevil. They cast this beautifully. And Vincent D'Onofrio, come on. There's no way he's not going to show up in the MCU at some point.
Oh, right? Yeah.
So whoever they do for Elektra, they got to get the right person. It can't be TV actress number B, you know?
No.
You know what? No,
it's got to be like a Scarlet
No. It can be, and I can see it be a no-name because...
Well, it can be a no-name, but it's got to have that potential. It's got to have that potential that, like, this is somebody that has that appeal.
But I don't think anybody thought Chris Pratt had the potential outside of Marvel. Yeah. You see Parks and Rec?
Yeah, I thought he did from that.
I loved him on that, but did most people see him jumping from that role to mega hunk superstar?
I have to go with the Lil on this one. I don't think anybody saw that coming.
I think they can definitely find. And look at what's her face.
He had the charisma. He had the charisma.
Of course, he had the charisma, but most people on TV can have the charisma, especially if you're playing in a comedic role. What I'm saying is they don't.
Steve Harvey as Elektra is going to work for you.
But Steve Harvey's been in a lot of movies. I mean,
so you don't want him as Elektra?
Well, no. Do we say we want Steve Harvey playing Elektra? No, that's
I don't know.
Like Tyler Perry in a movie. Oh wait, he's in Ninja Turtles.
Oh no, we could have Medea as Elektra.
Well, that's what's going to happen in the Turtles movie. He's going to get the ooze on him and turn into the Fly. He's going to turn into Medea.
Let me just say it right now. Please don't let that happen. Mark Alil's words. That's going to happen.
That would be amazing.
Mark it.
No,
I think the truth is you'll get a little of both. You'll get somebody that has that potential. Yes. A little of both.
I like that.
Think you'll have to get somebody that has that potential. But if you do get a superstar, you get too much for a Netflix series or anything like that. That you have to have something in between that you create that new character, that new actress, but they do have to have that potential to be a star because, you know, Matt and Foggy, their presence around both of them have just gone way up.
Exactly. And well, okay, Foggy, yes, the Mighty Ducks, but you know, Charlie Cox, I mean, again, you know, Boardwalk Empire, I mean, but it's not, you know, we're not looking at blockbuster gold here with him, you know, before this, and he's proven that he can hold this series. He's really done well, but I think here they can find somebody that could be on TV and maybe then groom her. Because you look at almost everybody they cast in all of these Marvel movies, outside of a few, outside of, I would say, Bradley Cooper, playing Rocket, of course, and they didn't have a lot of cachet. Chris Evans, when he first started, not a lot of cachet to be Cap. Chris Hemsworth, not a lot of cachet to be Thor. Then you got Norton on the downslide. You got Ruffalo, who's more of an indie guy. You've got all these people who are playing outside of the norm. Even if you look at the villains here, it's not people that you normally gravitate toward these roles.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think they can find, even look at somebody who, like Emily Van Camp, Agent 13, who's coming back for Civil War and whose role is expanding. She's a TV actress. And it could be a lot. You just have to find somebody who, like you said, Rob, you said it was charismatic, but who also can do a lot with that role. And in a Netflix series, you don't want them to get too big to where everybody's seeing. And I think that's why I like what they did with Rosario Dawson, because everybody thought when she was first cast, oh, she's Electro. It's like, no, you get her night nurse, you give her a nice role in this, but you let her play that off and do her thing. Even D'Onofrio. D'Onofrio, he's been in the movies and stuff, but he's mainly to this generation known as a TV guy.
Yeah, but to like our generation, he's a movie actor that does TV.
Right, and I understand that.
And to me, you have to have that actress that is going to do Elektra to really, like, that bipolar schizophrenia, assassin mentality.
Yeah.
It's going to take a certain person.
Well, you know what? I'm looking online here, and they showed that this whole rumor about Elektra came from a couple of actresses that had leaked audition tapes for it. And one of them is, I'm going to get her name wrong, Shiva Kalaselvin. You know what? She doesn't look, because Elektra needs to look very Greek. She looks like Northern India, like kind of that area, but she definitely doesn't look Greek to me. But the second one, Louisa Mignone, have you seen her?
No.
What's she in?
Boy, I don't know if it's anything you would know. Let's see here. Wish You Were Here from 2012. I don't know any of this stuff. Milk and Honey, Two Fists, One Heart, Wish You Were Here, Danger 5, Wonderland. That's not the Once Upon a Time Wonderland, is it? No. Fat Tony and Company. She was on Rake. Did you ever watch Rake?
No.
Yeah, nobody did. I don't know, but if you look at the picture of her name is Louisa Mignone. And if you look at there's a thing, images of Louisa. Yeah, that might not be the actress, but that's the look.
Yeah, but
she looks great.
They've also proved that they may not go with a particular look anymore. They've got that African American guy.
Yeah, but that's not MCU. That's not MCU.
That's
and I'm
true.
telling you, if you look at the side-by-side pictures of her with the drawings of Elektra, it's spot on, which tells me they are going to go for as close to the look of the correct Elektra as they can.
Yeah. You should post that on the Facebook page. I could take a look at it.
Oh, so much work, Jack.
I know.
He just wants to see somebody who looks like Elektra. That's it.
What are you saying?
He's like, send me that. Let me see what she looks like.
Are you having a Philip and Charlie moment?
Yeah,
of course. Halle Berry.
I'm going to put it. So this
Don't make Jonathan come out and tell you to let it go.
This will be something special for the Patreon subscribers. Nobody's going to know why I put this on here.
It'll just be random.
It'll be just really random. I got to find it where I put it. Here we go. All right, it's going to go up on the Facebook page, on the Nuff Said Facebook page. It's just a picture of, it's actually both actresses with the Elektra drawing in between. The girl to the right, I think, is spot on. Spot on. It's on there.
All right.
So, all right, can we wrap this up?
We can.
Do it.
All right, well, thank you, Patreon subscribers, so much. We have a few more episodes to go before we're done with this. I think we have like 4 or 3 more of these episodes to do. So
we'll check the math.
Yeah. We'll try to get those wrapped up. I'm hoping we get those all wrapped up in the next month, which would be nice. But if not, we're trying to get these out as quickly as we can. And don't forget, we've got our summer series coming up. What's the first movie we're doing?
Ultimate Avengers.
Oh, I can't wait. That's the one you love, right?
No, I love the next Avengers. I do like the Ultimate Avengers movies, but
it's the one called the Next Avengers.
The one that I've watched 100 times is the one with the kids.
Okay. And I think those are on Hulu, so I'm going to have to watch it on there. If they are, we'll put that on our page, too. Like, hey, if you have Hulu, you can watch it on here. That way you can kind of keep up with us as we do these. I think that's it. Why don't we wrap this thing up? Anyone want to give any social media?
I'm at J1 Grosky, and you can catch me on the Bosch podcast and the Blacklist podcasts.
Yeah, man. You just wrapped up Blacklist. You got any Bosch coming?
Yes, actually, we will go back to the studio starting Sunday night.
Awesome. That's good news. And Alil, why don't you throw it out there?
I am at LOGEEKZ, and that's for the League of Geeks, and that's Geeks with a Z. And I'm now on Instagram.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow. And check out League of Geeks. Awesome show. If you're in Chicago, I don't know if any of you subscribers are in Chicago, but almost every Saturday night, we are doing live shows at the Blue Box Cafe in Elgin. You can come out and see Alil and I. When I say almost, it is con season. So we've got, I know there's one coming up in June that we're doing a Thursday instead of a Saturday because some of us are going to the Des Moines Comic-Con. And we're going to be doing a panel there on Sunday. So if you're in Des Moines, Iowa, come see us at our panel on that Sunday. And
my
Facebook page.
Apologies to anybody in Des Moines.
Or follow our email list. Join our email list, and we'll send out when we're going to be at these things. So that's it. Let's wrap it up. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
All right. Enough said.
Enough said.